Someone asks you a simple question. Why don't you have kids yet? You have probably faced it yourself. You give an answer. The money, the timing, the right person, a choice made in a kitchen or a car. It feels like a private decision. It stops being private. It becomes a pattern. A country is just its people, added up. One choice, repeated across millions of homes. America has been having fewer babies, fewer in almost every year since 2007. And the pattern points one way, down. 2007 was the high water mark. More babies arrived that year than any since. Then the birth line turned down, and it kept sliding lower over time, most years landing below the one before. This is a broad decline, not a brief dip. From that peak to 2023, births fell 16%. That's the raw count of babies born. The fertility rate dropped even harder, down 22% from 2007 to 2024. That rate counts births per 1,000 women in the ages people usually have children. That is a lot of missing cribs nationwide. Both the count and the rate slid. America now sits below replacement level, the rate where a generation replaces itself. Below replacement, each generation comes out smaller. The next cohort can't quite refill the last. Stay far under 2, the economists warn, and population and economic growth slow down. Everyone has a favorite reason for this. The phones, the rent, the economy. Each theory sounds right on its own, but 2 economists went looking for proof. They tested the reasons against hard data. Most of them did not survive. The real answer is stranger than the theories. So what's driving the decline? First, look at the shape of the fall. It's a slow, steady slide downward, and it isn't confined to one group. It runs across many demographic groups at once, across cities and small towns alike. The pattern doesn't spare any corner. Demographers watch 2 very different things here, a delay or a real lasting decline. Delay simply means the babies come later. Decline means a share never come at all. This distinction matters more than it sounds. The evidence points to decline, not delay. The births are missing, not only late. Newer groups of women have fewer children across their whole childbearing years, not one season. So 2 economists went hunting for the cause, Melissa Kearney and Phillip Levine. They lined up the usual suspects, a recession or a change in policy, student debt, housing or childcare costs. Think of it as a careful autopsy. Each suspect gets tested, then cleared. Was it a recession? The numbers say no. Was it rising costs? The same answer. They checked each one against the data. They ran the numbers every careful way, and came up surprisingly empty. No single recent change explained much of it. The obvious villains couldn't carry the weight. The decline outran every simple cause. One by one, the explanations fell short. That empty result is the real puzzle. If the economy can't explain it, ask people. Pew Research did exactly that. They asked real people, not a computer model. They found childless adults under 50, the ones who say kids are unlikely, and asked them one plain question. Why not? The survey handed them a list of reasons. Money was on that list. So was health. Both lost to a much blunter answer. 57% simply don't want children. Read that answer again. They don't want to. The most common reason on the whole list. It outranked every financial reason given. It outranked every medical reason too. And that group keeps getting larger. Back in 2018, 37% said unlikely. By 2023, that reached 47%. A 10-point jump in only 5 years. That's a fast turn in what people want. The reason is preference more than cost. Intent to skip kids is rising quickly. For most in that group, kids aren't planned. Still, people do believe help would help. Ask what would encourage more births. The popular ideas all poll very well. Free childcare leads the wish list. 60% call it very effective. 51% want paid family leave. 49% want bigger tax credits. 45% want a monthly payment. Every idea aims at the cost of kids. Voters would likely welcome everyone. The public clearly thinks cost is central. But the picture gets tangled right here. Look abroad, and the bet looks shaky. Rich countries fell below replacement years ago. Many already tried these very policies. Their birth rates stayed stubbornly low. The track record abroad stays humbling. Weighing all of it, the economists conclude small policy tweaks likely won't reverse it. And 2024 shows how slippery this is. 1 year of data, 2 opposite stories. The count can rise while the rate falls. The raw number of births rose, up 1%, near 3.6 million. The optimist points at that higher count. But look at the rate instead. Over the same year, it fell, down 1% to 53.8. One counts babies, the other adjusts for population. That split is why single years mislead. Strip out population and the decline holds. Underneath, the youngest women drove the drop. Rates fell for ages 15 to 34. They held flat from 35 to 39 and rose only for 40 to 44. The decline sits squarely with the young. This is where honesty matters most. The real reason is genuinely contested. Honesty here means holding two truths, two honest camps, looking at one country. One camp says the barriers are real. Childcare and housing block the families people want. Those barriers are real to the people facing them. And most of the public agrees. 60% still back free childcare. The other camp is Kearney and Levine. They couldn't find those barriers in the numbers, and the data still can't fully see them. They point to something harder to measure, a shift in priorities among younger adults. Both camps can't be fully right, but experience makes one thing clear. No rich country has spent its way back. Replacement stays out of reach so far. The cheap fixes have not turned it around. This decline is now over 15 years old. We understand the trend better than the cause. No one has found a way to reverse it. That tension is the honest state of things. This is why demographers keep watching. Hold the rate far below 2, and Kearney and Levine warn what follows. Growth and population slow over the long run. A shrinking base slows an economy over time. Small yearly drops compound over the decades. Americans sense those stakes too. 47% call fewer births bad for the country. But sensing a problem isn't solving it. Knowing the trend is not the same as steering it. And right now, no one holds the fix. It is a serious, still open problem. This is the honest edge of the question, which brings us back to that question. Why don't you have kids yet? For a growing share, the answer is simple. It isn't a broken economy or missing policy. Simply, I don't want to. That's the finding almost no one expected. And the one no payment has changed. The country's curve is the sum of us. Remember, one person, one honest shrug. Multiply it, and you get a country. Millions of private answers, one clear line. The data is clear on what's happening. The line on the chart keeps falling. The reasons are still, mostly, up to us. So, why don't you have kids yet? Maybe you have an answer now. Maybe you have 3. The point is, the question was never simple, and the people answering it deserve better than panic. This channel keeps doing exactly this. The real numbers in context. The studies behind the headlines. Honest and calm. Always with the sources on screen. We will keep following the line wherever it goes. If that sounds good, subscribe and stick around for the next one, because the most important story of our lifetime deserves more than a scroll.